Hello everyone and welcome to Farm Bureau's Voices of Agriculture, brought to you this week by the Mississippi Farm Bureau. On the show this time, we have a feature about a farm-to-school program that brings fresh fruits and vegetables to school kids.
It gives our students an opportunity to try fruit and vegetables that they wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity to try.
We have a story about the need for a legal immigrant workforce to help farmers raise their crops.
We work a lot of long days, long weeks back to back, and just the local labor force is not available for us.
Then we go to the state capitol for the annual Ag Day at the Capitol celebration.
If we're not here, they don't hear from us, we really don't have legitimate claims that they're not doing anything. So I think it's important that we be here, they see our faces, get to know who we are.
After that, we'll visit a farmer who's raising a very unusual crop for Mississippi.
It's something that a small farmer might be interested in doing. Somebody that's got a small plot of land, they need something to do with some of that land. And I think this might be the answer.
Finally, we'll have our Meet a Farmer segment and our cooking segment with Nancy Freeman. Stay with us, we'll be right back. The Farm to School program started in Mississippi in 2002, and it's a partnership between the Mississippi Department of Education and the Mississippi Department of Agriculture and Commerce. It's a program that brings local produce into the school lunch programs that helps local farmers sell their produce, and school kids get to eat locally produced food. But there's a program within this program called the Fresh Fruits and Vegetable Program that provides fresh fruits and veggies as snacks during the day for school kids. Jackson Elementary School in Pascagoula is one of 126 schools in the state that are participating in the program.
We get about $2.6 million a year to provide fresh fruits for schools. This is separate from the school lunch program. This is additional fruits and vegetables. As we see in Pascagoula, it will oftentimes take place in the classroom. The kids will come down, get fruits and vegetables they may not see every day.
We were eligible to have $65 to $70 per student to spend on fruits and vegetables. And this is all separate from the school lunch program and the school breakfast program. So we're not serving these fruits and vegetables that we're purchasing. We're not serving those in the cafeteria. We're actually taking them to the classroom and using some teachable moments to encourage fruit and vegetable intake.
Jackson Elementary Principal Dr. Kateria Payton helped write the grant for the Fresh Fruits and Vegetables program.
Our children receive it every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. and it gives our students an opportunity to try fruit and vegetables that they wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity to try. And every morning our children are excited to come and pick up the fruit and vegetables, and they come by and we encourage each of them to try it.
Today the kids are eating cucumbers and chayote, which is a type of squash common in Mexico and the Caribbean. In addition to the food, the teachers are provided with fact sheets to use.
We use our fact sheets to read to the students. It'll tell us the vitamins that are in the fruit and veggies, and then it'll also tell us how the students can benefit and their health reasons for it. So when we had the carrots, we read that it was good for our eyesight. And the kids really respond to that and know how to, what to eat to make their bodies healthy.
As you can imagine, getting kids to try something new can be a challenge, but in many cases, the effort is worth it. What about the chayote? Did you taste that?
Yes, sir.
Was it good?
It was good with ranch in it.
You like the ranch dressing?
Yes, sir.
Why do you think it's important to try new things?
Because if you do it, you will know if you like it or not.
The variety of fruits and veggies that the kids are offered is amazing.
We had dragon fruit, we've had mango, we've had star fruit, multicolored carrots, tomatoes. That was interesting, and it's exciting to see them eat new healthy things.
The fact sheets that the teachers use don't come from the Department of Education. That's something that this school district puts together themselves to help their kids.
We print off sheets that have a picture of the plant and the fruit or the vegetable. We give the origin, where it originated, where it came from, what country, how it's grown, ways most people enjoy it, how you can cook it, and just like today with the cucumbers, we learned that it originated in Egypt because they could put water inside the cucumber and it would keep their water cold when they were crossing the desert.
The program has many benefits for the children, but it's also a bonanza for Mississippi farmers.
When we connect with MDAC, we provide a survey from the schools. They then connect with the farmers who will plant the crops to fill those needs. Every year we look for about $1 million worth of produce, and with farming, with agriculture conditions, it changes a little bit. But every year we see about $800,000 in Mississippi produce come to schools just through the Farm to School program.
What began as a pilot program several years ago has blossomed into a very successful program that hopefully can expand to every school in the state. Having a reliable legal workforce is important in any business, but it's especially true in agriculture when a farmer may only have a small window to plant or harvest his crop that will make or break his business for the entire year. Think summer and Georgia peaches might come to mind, but while peaches are ripe on the trees, there may not be enough workers to pick them.
We just don't have that seasonal skilled workforce that's willing to get out in a hot orchard and work all day.
So farmers import their labor, relying heavily on a program called H-2A. The government grants foreign nationals short-term visas to help harvest crops. But demand for those workers is growing, and farmers in 22 states complain the government can't keep up.
That is a serious thing in farmland across America. If you have a crop ready to harvest and your harvest window is narrow and your workers show up late, you're going to lose your crop.
It could cost us our farm in one season.
And farmers across the country who grow a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, not just peaches, are telling Duval that navigating H-2A is already costing them plenty. Too much red tape, too much paperwork, too many delays.
For us to, in rural America, not be able to bring workers here to harvest our crops is just really ridiculous.
I have sons that want to come back to the business, and I'm not sure there's a place for them right now because we can't grow anymore. I mean, we're being stifled. We're being held back.
Georgia farmers are not alone in their concerns for having a viable guest worker program for planting and harvesting their crops. Calhoun County is known as the sweet potato capital of the world, but this delicacy could not be grown without an immigrant workforce. Local workers simply won't take these jobs because of the long hours in tough conditions. There's only a limited amount of time that farmers have to get the potatoes out of the field and into the processing sheds. Filling these jobs with H-2A workers is the only way that this industry can continue. Jeremy Jack is a row crop farmer in the Mississippi Delta. He says the H-2A program is vital to his family farming operation.
The H-2A program allows us to get workers to get our crops in the fields and out of the fields and irrigated. Without the H-2A guys, we would be burdensome without a labor force to get the job done. We work a lot of long days, long weeks back to back, and just the local labor force is not available for us.
Eubanks Produce in southeast Mississippi has been in business since 1992. They grow 2,500 acres of vegetables that must be hand harvested.
We do advertise for local labor, so we're advertising for 300 workers to come to our farm. We have a very small number that actually do apply for local labor, and a lot of them don't like this type of work, and they do not stay here long term when they do try to work here.
So immigrant labor fills the gap.
Yes, so workers, especially here on our farm, a lot of our workers return each year. So we have a high retention value, so we feel like they are happy working here on our farm. They come back every year. They do have to leave their families at home, but they return during our off season back to Mexico where they're from. So because they return here every year, they're trained on our farm, how we like to harvest our vegetables and how we like to care for our produce as it's growing.
Without immigrant labor, the Eubanks' entire operation would be in trouble.
We would be out of business very soon because it's a perishable product and it has to be harvested at its peak when it's ready. We don't have any other options. We would have to try to find local work, but it wouldn't be possible to find that many locally.
Bill Rivers has run these 60 greenhouses known as Rivers Plant Farm since 1975.
We run a business where we sell today and ship tomorrow. So it's no time for anything. I mean, the job's got to be done. We have over 200 customers in Mississippi and Louisiana that rely on us to deliver products to them on a weekly basis in season. And like I said, we make a living a few months out of the year, and it's no time to play. We pre-book all the plants that right now we're pre-booking every plant that we're going to plant in the fall, in the springtime. And we're counting on these H-2A workers to be here January the 15th. If they're not, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars at stake. And actually, you know, our livelihood's at stake. Everything that we put into this place for my family has for 40 years is at stake. And, you know, we rely on a reliable workforce. We try to spend the money. It's not cheap to go through the procedures to bring in a legal workforce here. And, you know, it's a lot at stake.
Recently, Mississippi Farm Bureau held a press conference to raise awareness of the issue of sensible immigration.
This is a national, bipartisan effort. My national organization, American Farm Bureau, along with our other states, are taking part in these across the United States today to get the message out that we as Americans all have the need to eat. And the process that we're going through with our H-2A workers, our guest worker programs, are causing troubles for our American farmers and our farmers here in Mississippi. The system is broken, and this past spring we went all over the state of Mississippi and talked to our farmers that are using these programs and heard horror stories about their crops rotting in the fields and not being able to get the labor force that they need to get their crops to market. We feel like we have two choices. We have to import our labor or we'll have to import our food. And the people here in the United States, I do believe, will want our American farmers to produce their food here in the United States. The number of American farmers in the United States has decreased by over 20% in the last 10 years. It's simply impossible for us to work a system without having a guest worker program. Agriculture needs a streamlined, flexible guest worker program that will bring more opportunities for the workers and the farmers. And Mississippi Farm Bureau and farm bureaus across the nation have joined with this effort to ask to have a seat at the table, no matter who is in charge of Congress, to ask that we take part in these conversations to enact a sensible immigration reform.
Agriculture has a lot at stake in this national conversation about immigration reform because farmers must have a viable guest worker program that meets the needs of this industry. We'll have more of Voices of Agriculture right after these messages. One of the highlights for Farm Bureau each year is the annual Ag Day at the Capitol celebration. This year was no exception. Nearly 100 farmers and volunteer leaders made their way to the state capitol for the annual Ag Day event and luncheon. That's an important part of Farm Bureau's public policy agenda.
Greg, we're the #1 industry here in the state, but as we see our numbers of elected officials fall away from having roots in agriculture, it becomes more important for us to get our people from the fields and the farmhouses here to the Capitol to tell them why agriculture is our #1 industry and why they need to protect us in the laws that they make. That's the most important thing for today, for them to get a chance to meet their people from back home here in a setting in Jackson, to let them know that we're here to support them, not talk about the issues, just that we're here to support them and they get to see what we're doing back in the countryside.
The farmers enjoy this day immensely and welcome the opportunity to give legislators some direction.
If we're not here, they don't hear from us. We really don't have legitimate claims that they're not doing anything. Yeah. So I think it's important that we be here, they see our faces, get to know who we are, and in that way, when we do call for some advice from them or to give them some advice on a particular bill, they know who we are.
From the Capitol, the group walked across the street to host the legislators at a luncheon. It was standing room only as Farm Bureau members got to break bread with their elected officials. Speaker of the House, Philip Gunn, was the featured speaker. He discussed 3 areas of importance to the farmers in attendance: infrastructure, animal cruelty, and ag funding for the land-grant institutions.
We have passed a bond bill last week to put $50 million toward roads, bridges. That is one measure that we have taken to try to put some money, devote some money to the immediate need of addressing roads and bridges. Another thing that I have done is I have met with MDOT, and I have challenged them to find us savings. A lot of people believe there's money already appropriated at MDOT that can be used more efficiently to find more money for roads and bridges. They have presented me with what they propose to be $50 million in savings. I have yet to go over that document, but it is sitting on my desk. there's a big push out there for doing something about animal cruelty. I think that is a common sense thing. We all know what it is. We all know that it's wrong to burn a cat or a dog. We know what animal cruelty is. And those things are awful and should not occur. Unfortunately, we do not want anything that we do to be construed to hamper the agricultural arena. And so we have been standing in the gap, trying to make sure, trying to prevent anything that comes across in the way of an animal cruelty bill from adversely impacting the agricultural industry. And I want to assure you that we're going to continue to make sure that you're able to go about doing what you do, and that any animal cruelty law that is passed will not adversely impact you. Agriculture is the #1 industry in our state, and we are heavily dependent upon it. We want to make sure that it thrives. We want to make sure that our universities have all that they need to continue to put us on the forefront of the market, not only nationally but internationally. So you can be assured that we're going to make sure that everything we do continues to help Mississippi State and Alcorn to continue the mission that they have.
The personal relationships that are formed or furthered at events like this always seem to pay dividends in the long run. Mississippi farmers raise a wide variety of crops each year, but we recently caught up with a man who's planning something very unusual for Mississippi.
Because I think it's something that small farmer might be interested in doing. Somebody that's got a small plot of land, they need something to do with some of that land. And I think this might be the answer.
That answer, he hopes, is bamboo. Yes, the plant that is usually associated with tropical areas is being planted right here in Mississippi.
We want to commercialize this bamboo product. We're going to guarantee the farmer that we're going to buy everything that he produces in the next 10 years.
There are about 1,500 commercial applications for bamboo, but Davis says that there are 2 that stand out.
Now, bamboo flooring, will, of course, will be made from the barrel. And what they'll do is they'll take it and strip it, and then they compress it and they make the floor. Some beautiful bamboo flooring. Now, also, one thing that people don't realize that's made is clothing. Clothing is made out of this hard barrel right here. They have a process that breaks it down into a liquid. They shoot it into a thread, make a thread out of it, and they weave clothes out of it. Very, very soft. It's antibacterial. The athletic companies are heavily looking into it for that antibacterial property.
The market for growing bamboo is there, according to Davis. Last year, the U.S. imported 70,000 tons of the stuff.
But if we were to take over that market of those 70,000 tons, that would equivocate for us planting 26,000 acres of bamboo just to take care of that one market. We are planting the first acre here in Mississippi, right here. You're looking at the first acre. We've got 4 more acres that we're fixing to plant here in the next, according to the weather, when it will allow us in the next 3 to 4 to 5 days. So basically the first 4 acres are going in the state of Mississippi here in April of 2017.
Harvest of these bamboo plants starts in year 3, so stay tuned. We'll have more Voices of Agriculture right after this timeout. Stay with us. In our Meet a Farmer segment this week, we meet a couple from South Mississippi with a large cattle operation. Levi and Shannon Rogers from Covington County. The Rogers run a large cattle operation that spreads out over several counties.
As a family operation, we graze about 30,000 head a year, and we just buy basically a 400-pound yearling calf, heifer, steer, bull, and raise them up. We sell the steers about 750 to 800 pounds and grow the heifers to about 700. And myself personally and Shannon, we do about 4,000 head on our own. 400-pound steers, same situation. Sell them 750 to 800, and in the wintertime we do a ryegrass. Typical day, I leave the house about 6 or so and just go and try to check the cattle early in the morning. It's the best time to check them, and especially when it's hot, early in the morning or right before dark, one of the two. Just run around and do anything, whether it be, doctoring sick cattle or buying cattle on Mondays or fixing fence, fixing water lines, just feeding cows, just any number of things could come across during the day.
Levi's wife Shannon also has a big role in the family business.
So I am Levi's bookkeeper for the 4,000 head that we run, and then I also am the bookkeeper for the Vineyard on Mondays. And when I'm not doing that or chasing Rhett around, I'm running the store. I have Stock Pro Animal Health in Collins, and I'm a volume distributor of animal health supplies. It's a big need for our area to have somewhere that farmers could go and locally pick up something same day and not have to have something shipped out of a catalog. So it's something I've done for the last 6 years and continued to grow and increase each year.
They also sell some of their beef locally to some very lucky customers.
We also, I sell at the store Honestly Beef, which is our family operation of farm fresh pasture raised beef. So that's a real draw to some people to be able to come in there and get some beef they can take home and cook up that night.
Shannon also plays a role in the County Farm Bureau.
I sit on our county board, and I was the vice chair of the Young Farmers and Ranchers State Committee. I'm also the vice chair of the Farm Families Communications Committee, which has really been a cool thing to be a part of, getting to make some really important decisions about what our state and community is going to know about farmers and what we do.
The Rogers have a 1-year-old son, Rhett. In our Mississippi on the Menu segment, Nancy Freeman prepares a tasty chicken dish.
Many families gather around their dinner tables to enjoy a meal featuring chicken, because it's long been recognized for flavor, good nutrition, and its adaptability. Our farm families this past year in 2016 brought in $2.82 billion in production value to our state by raising their chickens on 1,430 family farms. Smith County was our top producing county this past year as well, and a lot of people get confused about hormones and steroids. Chickens are grown without those. It's against federal regulations, so don't worry about it. If you buy Mississippi farm-raised chicken, you're going to get fresh, healthy chicken to enjoy and use in your family meals. This is a quick recipe for a chicken pot pie. I love these one-dish meals. This is chicken that I boiled off with a little salt, pepper, and onion, and taken it and just pulled it into pieces. It takes about 4 or 5 pieces of chicken to do that. And then I reserved 2 cups of the broth. I'm going to use this to blend in with some cream of chicken soup. I love these simple, easy recipes, and I like things that I can use that I already have on hand, such as the broth from when I boiled the chicken. It always makes for a delicious, nice, easy meal that you'll have there. I'm going to switch over and use this little whisk right here, and we're going to blend that together just quick and easy. Now that we have our chicken and our gravy ready, we're going to take and put our vegetables on top. Now I've chosen mixed vegetables. You can use any kind of vegetables that you would like to use. These are 2 of my favorites because I like the mixed blend that comes in there. Maybe your family likes a different style of mixed vegetables, so use what your family likes in this particular one. On top of this, I'm going to ladle that delicious gravy. Oh, this is going to be good in there. Go ahead and just kind of pour that in and around. There's no wrong way to do that, which is kind of nice. And then our topping is going to be flour, butter, and a little bit of milk. This is just blended together and poured on top. Once it's blended up, don't stir it after you pour it on. Pop it in the oven and bake it. I love pot pie. Check it out at our website at growingmississippi.org and have a good chicken dinner ready for your family.
And that's all the time we have for this edition of Voices of Agriculture. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and we'll be with us again next time. For all of us here at the Mississippi Farm Bureau, thanks for watching.